got to be kidding me, because right now, once in a generation star, some of them call him the mega star, is walking down this aisle, and that means this incel, that incel, you're all gonna want to jump on the gravy train that is LA Knight.
Out with the old, in with the gold. Let me tell you, Cole, there are a lot of superstars walking around SmackDown today. Michael Cole.
Oh, driving and slide to the corner and a neck break.
LA Knight, as I live and breathe. Good morning from Las Vegas.
Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for joining me today to talk about WWE SummerSlam. You know, this is the biggest event of the summer. What can fans expect?
Well, like you said, it's the biggest party of the summer, and it's an even bigger party now if you got me there. So LA Knight, for the first time, showing up at SummerSlam in the Slim Jim Battle Royal. That's a huge deal. You're talking about 20 guys getting in there, and you got to have eyes in the back of your head as you're trying to toss everybody over the ropes. And let's not forget, we're rolling into SmackDown just the night before, and you got me versus Sheamus just the night before. So it's going to be a rough night coming out of Friday, because you know that's going to be a hard-hitting match between the two of us, and then you roll right into SummerSlam for that Battle Royal. So it's going to be one hell of a weekend. Is there any other bouts that you're looking forward to, or anything you'd like to comment on? You know, something that that's going to be something to watch. Man, you know, there's so much happening there, but I get so laser focused on what I'm doing that I can't even take the time to think about that, because, man, and again, you got to consider the fact that Slim Jim Battle Royal, there's 19 other guys gunning for me, and I'm gunning right back for them. So to take my attention anywhere else is damn near an impossibility at this point. You know, this sport has so many traditional, unexpected moments. Will that continue for SummerSlam, and maybe some that you remember in your career that were totally unexpected? Oh, for sure. Last night I was sitting here watching it was SummerSlam '92, and I'm going there and I'm watching Bret Hart and I'm watching British Bulldog, and they were tearing the house down with that match, and just two guys were amazing in the ring, and at the same time you think about all the surprises and the different things that can happen and everything. You never know what to expect at any of these events, and now really considering you got one of the big four pillars of this company, which is Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. There's always something to look for here, where something's always going to pop up that you're not expecting. And in all honesty, I don't know what that's going to be. Nobody knows what that's going to be, and the only way to find out, tune in Peacock Saturday, SummerSlam. Absolutely. And rumor has it The Rock might make an appearance. That could be unexpected too, right? That would be set the roof on fire. Oh, wow. Okay. That would be incredibly unexpected. Yeah, for sure. And SummerSlam in Detroit, Motor City. I've never been there. I'm always looking forward to visit there someday. What's the vibe in the city for something like this? First of all, if I can touch on what you just said again, if The Rock does show up, just make sure he doesn't come in that Battle Royal, because I will toss him right over that top rope. I expect nothing less. I expect nothing less. I got so caught up on that. What was the original question? Detroit, man. Said this is in Detroit. I've never been there. What's the vibe like in that city? Man, I've been through there so many times. Through my career, just running through there and using that as a kind of a landing strip to go up through Canada and stuff like that. Like it's a rich wrestling town, and you're talking about such I would say a rabid fan base to some degree, and now you're looking at this huge, just this giant venue in Ford Field. I mean, it's the perfect venue to hold the biggest party of the summer. Oh, awesome. No other place, right? And, preparing for this interview tonight, I was watching some of your highlight reels and some of your past bouts. Dude, you're solid iron. What is your routine? Man, I can't even get out of my chair, man, but you look like you could bench press a Volkswagen. Man, I had a real late night last night, so I didn't wake up until it was tough getting out of bed this morning, I'll tell you that, because I had to do a bunch of stuff last night down in Miami. I got back up here. I live in Orlando right now, and getting back up here, oh man, it was a late night. So getting up, usually I'll get up, I'll make some eggs and maybe a bagel or some oatmeal or something. I'm cramming calories in like every day. Right now I'm smashing about 3,500 calories with a focus on protein, and I'm in that gym probably 5-6 days a week. And a lot of people are like, you know, I was talking to somebody yesterday. They were like, how long do you spend? What's your average training session? And I told him about 90 minutes. And he was like, oh, I was thinking you were going to say something astronomical. I'm like, nah, you got to understand, when you're talking about the gym, intensity is key. And you can't be intense for much more than 90 minutes. Well, like once you pass that, even toward the end of that 90 minutes, you're like, okay, it's starting to wane off now. Let's wrap this one up and get. But if you're in there and you're feeling it and taking short breaks, man, you will be a whole other beast.
Yeah, I mean, it shows, man. You got some dedication, I'll tell you that. And are you active much on social media? Interact with fans? How good are you to your fans?
Well, now I would say I'm very good in a certain sense, where, you know, I try and take my time. If people run into me, pictures, autographs, all that kind of stuff, totally down. I try not to get in the mud too much on social media. There's just for the, you know, thousands of nice and wonderful things that are said, there's, you know, 2 or 3 awful things. And it's just, I don't need that in my life. So I look, I have a thick skin and I can deal with criticism all day, any day. Otherwise I wouldn't have made it this far in this business. At the same time, it's just, why add to the pile? And so for me, it's just kind of like, I'll put my content out. I'll give a little piece. And other than that, it's like I might interact a little bit, but like I said, I try not to get in the weeds or in the mud too much on that.
And finally today, you must get all the time, the next generation, kids coming up to you wanting advice to be the next WWE champion. What's some blanket advice would you give for your fans out there, or the next generation coming up?
And the standard thing I would tell anybody, and actually a guy just asked me this in New Orleans this past week, and you have to be kind of straightforward about it. And you don't have to look like a bodybuilder, but you have to look like an athlete. At the end of the day, this is still a physical business. It's an aesthetic business, but you also have to be able to, man, if you don't have a personality, you better figure out how to get one, because that's one of the biggest draws and one of the biggest sells in this business is just knowing how. Look, man, think about a Muhammad Ali. The draw to him was he was a great fighter, but also, man, all that talk, all that build, he'd talk you into the building and then knock you out. And it was such an amazing combination. So figuring those elements out, figuring out how to develop a personality, but also making sure you look good, you're in shape, something stands out there. And then you also, man, you got to have an athletic bone in your body. There's so many people that I've seen who have no business in the ring. And I don't mean that in any disrespectful way, but you got to be able to have a realistic barometer of yourself that, hey, man, I don't really have the coordination for this. I don't really have the abilities to do this, and have a real assessment of yourself. But if you have those abilities and you can tailor that and make all that work, by all means, do not give up. Keep doing your thing. You've heard John Cena say, never give up. I am the embodiment of that. Right. So yeah, you got to keep pushing. And if you believe you've got something to give it.
I think it's one word it comes down to too. Also, showmanship. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. That's the name of it. At the end of the day, what's WWE? Entertainment is the name of the game at the end of the day. So even though I'm going to go out there and put on a physical showcase or this, that, whatever, at the end of the day, the whole name of the game, I need to come out and entertain you.
And that you do, man. LA Knight, thank you so much for joining this morning. Good luck with your bout. Also, come visit us in Las Vegas, man. We'd love to have you.
Man, I love Vegas. I've spent a lot of time in Vegas between wrestling, partying, all that. When I lived in LA for 10 years, so it was a nice short little drive out there to just come and spend a couple nights. So Vegas is like my home away from home, away from home.
Love him. So awesome. All right, awesome, man. Congratulations. Let's talk again soon. Thank you so much.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.